What if happiness was never about your circumstances, and your brain has been hiding the switch from you this entire time? Not your job, not your relationship status, not your bank account. Those things matter, sure, but the reason you wake up some mornings feeling flat, empty, and disconnected from any real joy, even when your life looks fine on paper, has nothing to do with what is happening around you. It has everything to do with what is happening inside your brain. Specifically, 4 chemicals. And right now, for most people, those chemicals are running dangerously low. Here is what nobody told you. Happiness is not a feeling you wait for. It is a biological state your brain produces. And just like you can trigger stress with the right input, you can trigger genuine happiness, real, measurable, chemical happiness with the right input too. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 3 brain tricks that make you feel happy in seconds. Not hacks, not toxic positivity, real neuroscience you can use today. But the third one is the one I need you to stay for. It has nothing to do with thinking positive or being grateful. It is something your brain does automatically when given one very specific signal, and most people accidentally block it every single day without knowing it. We will get there. But first, let me show you exactly what is going on inside your head. Here is a number that should make you pause. The World Health Organization estimates that over 280 million people worldwide currently suffer from depression, and that number does not include the hundreds of millions more walking around in a state of what researchers call anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure from things that used to bring joy. You are not sad exactly. You are just numb, flat, going through the motions. And here is what makes this so frustrating. Most people respond to this feeling by trying to change their external circumstances. They chase a new goal. They scroll for something entertaining. They buy something. They look for the next thing that will finally make them feel something. And it works for about 20 minutes. Then the flatness comes back, sometimes heavier than before. This is because they are treating the symptom and completely ignoring the system. Your brain runs on 4 primary happiness chemicals: dopamine, which drives motivation and reward; serotonin, which creates a sense of calm, confidence, and belonging; oxytocin, which produces warmth, connection, and trust; and endorphins, which block pain and create that floating, euphoric feeling. When these 4 are flowing properly, life feels rich, meaningful, and genuinely good. When they are low, even objectively good circumstances feel hollow. The 3 brain tricks I am about to share each target one or more of these chemicals directly, not indirectly, not eventually, immediately. So here is exactly how this works. Trick number 1, the completion loop. It is the fastest way to trigger a dopamine release without needing anything external to go right. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. It is actually the anticipation and achievement chemical. Your brain releases dopamine not when you have something, but when you are moving toward something and then get it. This is why finishing a task feels better than doing nothing, even if the task was small. The completion itself is the trigger. Neuroscientists at MIT found that the brain's dopamine system responds to progress, not size, meaning your brain does not care whether you just closed a $1 million deal or crossed "make the bed" off a mental list. Completion is completion. The dopamine release is real either way. Here is your action for today. Right now, before this video ends, pick one tiny thing you have been putting off. Not a big project, something that takes under 2 minutes. Send that text, close that tab, put that one thing away. Do it, and notice the small but real shift in how you feel immediately after. That is dopamine. That is your brain rewarding you for closing an open loop. And here is the powerful part. You can stack this. 3 small completions in a row produces a cumulative dopamine effect that can shift your entire mood within 10 minutes. Now, the next one builds on this in a way that most people never connect. And once you see how these 2 work together, it is hard to unsee. Trick number 2, the witness effect. It is one of the most underused serotonin triggers that exists. Serotonin is often called the confidence chemical. It rises when you feel significant, respected, and like your existence matters to others. This is why social media can feel good and terrible at the same time. It triggers serotonin when people respond positively and crashes it when they do not. But there is a way to trigger serotonin that has nothing to do with other people's reactions. It is this. Reflect on one thing you did that you are quietly proud of. Not something for show, not something you posted about, something you did when nobody was watching, something that reflects who you actually are or who you are becoming. Here is why this works. Research in social neuroscience shows that self-affirmation, specifically recalling moments of personal integrity or quiet achievement, activates the same neural reward pathways as receiving praise from others. Your brain does not fully distinguish between external validation and internal recognition. When you witness yourself doing something good, your serotonin responds. Here is what to do today. Sit for 60 seconds, just 60 seconds, and think of one moment in the last week where you showed up as the person you want to be. Maybe you were patient when you wanted to snap. Maybe you kept a promise to yourself. Maybe you helped someone without being asked. Hold that memory for a full minute. Let your brain register it. That is not self-help fluff. That is serotonin doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here is the crazy part. Most people spend 60 seconds every morning scrolling content that makes them feel worse about themselves. Flipping that one habit alone could measurably change your baseline mood within 2 weeks. Share this with someone who always puts themselves last and never takes a moment to recognize what they are doing right. They need this more than they know. Now, the next one. This one involves your body more than your mind, and the science behind it will genuinely surprise you. Trick number 3. Before we get to brain trick number 3, let me ask you something. When did you last laugh? Not a polite smile, not a quiet exhale through your nose at something mildly funny online. A real laugh. The kind that comes from your stomach, that you cannot control, that makes your eyes water. If you have to think back more than a few days to remember one, that tells you something important about the state of your endorphin system right now. Endorphins are your brain's natural painkillers and euphoria producers. They are the chemicals behind the runner's high, the feeling after a great workout, and the warm glow after a really good laugh with someone you love. And here is what most people do not know. Laughter, genuine physical laughter, triggers an endorphin release that researchers at Oxford University found to be comparable in effect to light physical exercise, not metaphorically, measurably, in brain scans. But here is the problem. Most adults have accidentally engineered laughter almost completely out of their daily lives. Everything is serious. Everything is efficient. Everything has a purpose. And somewhere along the way, play became something you do after you finish everything else, which means most people never get to it at all. This is not a small thing. Low endorphins do not just make you feel less happy. They make pain feel worse, social connection feel harder, and motivation feel impossible. Endorphins are the cushion between you and the weight of being alive. When they are low, everything feels heavier than it should. Now, everything I have shared so far is real and it works. But this last one, this is the one that changed everything for me when I understood it. And I think it is going to land differently for you than anything else in this video. The third brain trick is called the oxytocin bridge, and it is the one most people accidentally destroy every single day with a habit they do not even realize is harmful. Oxytocin is your connection chemical. It is released during physical touch, deep eye contact, moments of genuine vulnerability, and acts of giving. It is the chemical behind why hugging someone you love immediately makes you feel better, why a real conversation with a close friend can reset your whole day, why helping a stranger can lift your mood for hours afterward. Here is what is quietly killing your oxytocin levels. Passive consumption. Hours of scrolling, watching, browsing, taking in content created by people you will never interact with in a format that requires nothing from you and gives nothing back biologically. It feels like connection. Your brain is designed to respond to faces and voices and stories, but it is a simulation of connection, not the real thing. And your oxytocin system knows the difference. Researchers studying social media use and loneliness found something that should make every one of us stop and think. People who reported the highest daily social media use also reported the highest levels of loneliness and disconnection, even when they had hundreds of followers and active comment sections. The appearance of connection was actually making the hunger for real connection worse. Here is your action today. Reach out to one person, just one, with a message that is not a meme, not a reaction, not a reply to a story. A real message, something personal, something that says you were actually thinking about them. It does not have to be long, it does not have to be deep, just real. Send it before this video ends if you can. That one message triggers oxytocin in you the moment you send it, not when they reply. The act of genuine giving itself starts the chemical release, and when they respond, it compounds. This is the oxytocin bridge, a real moment of human connection that your brain has been starving for, possibly for longer than you realize. Save this video. The 3 brain tricks that make you feel happy in seconds are worth coming back to on the days when everything feels flat and you cannot remember why. So let me put this all together for you. Your brain is not broken. It is not wired for unhappiness. It is wired for 4 specific chemicals: dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin. And modern life has quietly drained all 4 without giving your brain the inputs it needs to refill them. The completion loop gives your dopamine system what it was built for: progress and achievement, even in tiny doses. The witness effect gives your serotonin system the recognition it is designed to respond to, coming from the one person whose opinion of you matters most: you. And the oxytocin bridge gives your connection system a real moment of human warmth in a world that has replaced most real connection with a screen. Imagine waking up tomorrow and actually having tools for this, not waiting to feel better, not hoping today is somehow different, actually knowing what your brain needs and being able to give it that in minutes. That is what these 3 brain tricks that make you feel happy in seconds can do for you. Not someday, today, starting with the next thing you do after this video ends. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 3 you are going to try first. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It is something your brain produces, and now you know how to ask for it. And if you want to take this even further, watch this next video where I show you the exact morning routine that keeps all 4 happiness chemicals elevated before your day even begins. Because how you spend your first 30 minutes determines the chemical baseline for everything that comes after.